Hey there, how's everyone doing? We're happy to have people from all over the world watching. If you're new here, welcome to the family. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So, it feels like every day I come on here and tell you, today was one of the most violent Russian-Ukrainian attacks ever. And honestly, I'm not lying, and today, again, I have to tell you, it was even more intense than yesterday. And no, I'm not saying this for hype or to grab views. It's just that last night really was worse than the night before. And the one before that. The war is escalating fast. And we're not just talking about heavy missile attacks with different kinds of weapons, including new types of missiles and drones. The situation is possibly heading toward a direct clash between Russia and Poland. Let's break this down, because the war is ramping up big time. I'm your brother, Mohammed Assam. Welcome to the channel. Peace be upon you all, and I hope you're doing well. Last night saw massive attacks from both sides, Russia and Ukraine. The battle isn't just on the ground anymore. The skies were absolute chaos. And I'm not just saying this. Even Ukraine's foreign minister said it was one of the most violent nights in the history of the Russia-Ukraine war. So what happened? Russia launched a widespread attack across Ukraine, especially targeting Kiev. They sent in 298 drones and 69 missiles, a mix of ballistic and cruise missiles. Air defenses were triggered all over and the city was in total panic. Almost all of Kiev's residents spent the night hiding in shelters. The air defense systems were overwhelmed.
According to Ukrainian media, quoting a general who remained anonymous, Russia is doing some serious upgrades. Here's how they're operating. First, they launch basic drones and missiles to detect air defense locations and use up some of Ukraine's ammunition. Then they send a second wave, faster and more advanced drones and missiles to strike those air defense points. Finally, a third wave hits command and control centers all over Ukraine. You've got to understand what it means for Ukraine to be hit by 350 aerial threats in one night. Imagine if even one missile was sent toward Israel by the Houthis. Look how the whole country reacts. Sirens, Iron Dome launches, etc. Now imagine 350 of those hitting Ukraine. That's a major drain on their defenses. It's a complex and smart strategy from Russia.
Russia is now targeting ammunition depots, command centers, drone factories, and missile plants every single day. Russia has been striking hard for the past 3 days. Ukraine said they managed to shoot down 266 of the 298 drones and 45 of the 69 missiles. That means roughly 30 drones and 20-plus missiles still hit their targets. On the flip side, Ukraine also hit back. According to Russian sources, Ukraine launched 110 drones at various strategic sites in Russia last night, including 6 drones headed for Kyiv, and many more targeting border regions like Bryansk, Belgorod, and Kursk.
Russia says it shot down 95 of them, meaning Ukraine launched close to 200 drones in total. According to Ukraine, 10 people were killed by last night's drone and missile attacks. Here's a video showing damage from Ukrainian drones in Russian border areas, deep inside Russian territory. So yeah, things are escalating fast.
And of course, Zelensky came out last night doing his usual act, blaming the world, pointing fingers, playing the victim. You know the drill. He grabs his phone, gives a speech, and starts accusing everyone again, especially the West and the United States. He called it deadly silence and slammed the US and Europe for not doing enough. He repeated the same demands, more sanctions, more weapons. That's what's going on in Ukraine right now. Oh, and by the way, the Wall Street Journal published a super important article that really explains what's happening. Another shocking update: Ukraine's recruitment crisis and rising tensions with Poland. Let me give you another clear sign of how things are going in Ukraine. There have been calls to lower the minimum draft age to 18, and people there went nuts over it. You see, the draft age is currently 24, and people are asking, how can you send 18-year-olds to war? They're just kids. So, Ukraine did what you'd expect. They launched a new recruitment program. But here's the catch. It's not the usual forced conscription where soldiers just grab you off the street. Although, let's be real, anyone over 24 walking around in Ukraine now risks being arrested on the spot. No mercy. Now, back to the recruitment program. Ukraine announced a voluntary enlistment campaign for men aged 18 to 24, and they're offering money to sweeten the deal. Here's the offer. After the war, you get a bonus equivalent to $24,000. While serving, they'll pay you $3,000 per month, which is 6 times the average salary in Ukraine. For context, the average monthly salary there is around $500. Sounds tempting, right? But here's the thing. Only 500 people signed up. Yeah, you heard that right. Only 500. That tells you a lot. People know what they'd be walking into, and most are saying, no way. I'd rather stay alive, even if they offer me millions. So here are the big questions. Is Ukraine that desperate for soldiers? Yes. Even the Wall Street Journal said Ukraine is suffering from a major shortage of troops. And the Financial Times talked about the army's crumbling morale. Honestly, I'm baffled when I see some media outlets saying that Russia's struggling on the ground. What ground? On the battlefield, Russia just announced it's taken control of 3 new towns, 2 near Sumy and 1 in Donetsk. And it's not just about taking towns. Russia is also building a buffer zone between its borders and Ukraine. This was confirmed during a Russian military press briefing. Enemy drones and sabotage units have been targeting civilian infrastructure, ambulances, farm vehicles, even private homes. Women and children are being killed or injured. That's why we've decided to establish a safety buffer zone along the border. So yeah, Russia is making big gains. There was even a shocking incident a few days ago. I won't show the video due to YouTube's rules, but Ukrainian military mobilizers grabbed a young guy in the street. A fight broke out, as usual. And they slammed his head on the pavement repeatedly until his body started twitching, and he died. Horrific stuff. It's tragic that instead of the Russians killing him, it was his own army. But now the real concern is the rising friction between Russia and Poland. Here's why that's scary. Poland has always hated Russia, and it's a NATO country. A while back, a mall in Poland caught fire, and after an investigation, Polish authorities concluded that Russian intelligence was behind it. They accused Russia of targeting infrastructure and launching cyber attacks, so Poland responded by shutting down Russia's consulate.
Then came a big statement from the head of Russian intelligence, FSB, the modern-day KGB. He said, if any Baltic countries or Poland mess with Russia or Belarus, they'll be the first to suffer. Stay away, or the consequences will be catastrophic. That's a huge threat.
Tensions between Russia and Poland are now worse than ever, and Poland is basically NATO's front door. So yeah, we're witnessing a massive escalation again. Peace talks? At this point, nobody knows where this is going.
That's the latest from the Russia-Ukraine war. Thanks a lot for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications. At S News, we're committed to bringing you balanced, fact